Welcome to Tech News Briefing. It's Friday, October 20th. I'm Zoe Thomas for The Wall Street Journal. Anthony Scaramucci, the founder of Skybridge Capital and the former White House communications director, was at the WSJ's Tech Live to talk about cryptocurrency. The financier is a digital currency optimist and took the stage with crypto compliance advocate Charlie Shrem to discuss the industry's current downturn and its future. Here are highlights from their conversation with Gunjan Banerjee, the lead writer for the Wall Street Journal's live markets coverage.
I know we've all been following the horrific and disgraceful attacks on Israel and the situation unfolding in the Middle East. The Wall Street Journal has reported that crypto exchange Garantex has been a major channel through which terrorist organizations such as Hamas have been transferring money. Anthony, do you have a problem with that?
Well, no, of course I have a problem with that, but I don't think that's crypto specific. Generally, I think that we are focused on that because we have a lot of crypto skeptics and naysayers. So yes, I absolutely have a problem with it. I think Charlie can talk about this better than me, but I think there's ways that we can handle that, and there's ways we can regulate and go after those people. Because of the blockchain's transparency, this stuff is easy to track.
Isn't it easier for bad actors to transfer crypto than cash, though? Charlie?
I would disagree because when you're in cash, you're in cash. You can take that cash anywhere in the world and do whatever you want with it, no matter what currency you have. With crypto, once you're in crypto, it's like a toll booth. As long as we regulate those toll booths of getting in and out of crypto, and we have regulated onshore exchanges in America that we trust, that do proper KYC and compliance, we wouldn't have issues like that. We wouldn't have liquidity in those shady exchanges anymore. All the liquidity would be, onshore here in the US or through our partners in the EU.
I do want to move to that because one of the most trusted exchanges, FTX, collapsed last year. And moving to something else in the news, Sam Bankman-Fried's criminal trial is happening right now in New York City. Anthony, you invested with FTX?
I just want to say thank God I'm here and not at the criminal trial.
Right.
But yes, go ahead.
Well, you were on a list of people that would potentially testify. How do you see this shaking out?
Well, first of all, I wasn't close enough to the blast zone, so that's one of the obvious reasons why I'm not testifying.
But is there another FTX waiting to happen in Binance? Charlie, what do you think?
There will always be centralized points of failure within Bitcoin and crypto that will be big elephants in the room that we have to worry about. From Mt. Gox, there were so many other smaller ones in between that no one remembers. FTX was a big one, but there are still a lot of smaller ones around FTX too. 3 Arrows Capital, and then you had Celsius, Voyager, and all the likes. I mean, there were so many, and unfortunately, the longer Bitcoin and crypto continues to succeed, there will be more.
But it sounds like you're saying, yes, another FTX could happen, which means a lot of customers lose money. Is that what you're saying?
We'll never be able to prevent more failures. We'll never be able to prevent in any industry. We'll never be able to prevent more mistakes from happening. But I think as an industry, if we ask the right questions and we don't forget what happened, we'll be able to succeed. And we need to remove centralized finance. The whole point of Bitcoin and crypto is to hold your own keys, but at the same time, when you have custody, there's a system of checks and balances in place. There, everyone was just putting all their money in one spot. And the last thing I'm going to say is if we had clear regulations, especially accounting rules, where the inventory of crypto that was held on the FTX books, if there were clear rules about how that money needs to be segregated and not kept commingled. There are no rules when it comes to crypto right now when it comes to our regulations. We need better rules and regulations.
So you're asking a really good question. We're always going to have people that are bad actors in our society. But, my grandmother had an expression, too good is no good, but too safe is no good. You want to be in a society of innovators, and you want to be in a society of risk takers, and you want to understand that there's vagaries to taking those risks.
So Charlie, a lot of retail investors were burned by crypto. Why would they turn around and buy a crypto ETF?
It's funny because everyone who's ever made wealth in Bitcoin or crypto always lost some wealth before they made it. You have to learn how to lose money in Bitcoin and crypto in order to learn how to make money in Bitcoin and crypto.
That sounds terrifying.
But it's the only way. It's unfortunate. I hate to say it. But anyone who comes to me and says, Charlie, thankfully this happened with Mt. Gox or this FTX, I'm learning how bankruptcy law works now. People are selling their claims. They're learning how all that works. A lot of people who held on to claims, who bought other people's claims, are making money now. I know people who bought like claims from FTX for like 40 cents on the dollar, and now they're going to get 70 cents.
Anthony, this industry did really well when there was a lot of speculation behind it. What happens when that momentum is gone, when people don't want to trade meme stocks, when people aren't, as Charlie said, throwing money at all these random projects?
Well, I think it will shrink and consolidate, but you have to ask yourself the following question. What does this technology do? And ultimately, it's a delayering mechanism for a society. If I can go peer-to-peer, as an example, if you own a restaurant and you can avoid the 3.5% charge from American Express, well, your margins go up by 15 to 20% because your net gross margin is probably 15% on a restaurant. The El Salvadorans who were in New York for the United Nations General Assembly meeting explained to me that they see a potential $400 million savings from their expats who live in the United States giving money back to mom and dad in El Salvador from a wallet-to-wallet transfer and avoiding the 10% charge
It's so
from
brilliant.
a MoneyGram or a Western Union. So if you stop and you think about the wonderful ways that this technology is going to delayer the society and take costs out of the society, the same way the internet did with Web 1, there's a very, very bright future, even if there's consolidation.
Looks like we're out of time. Thank you so much, Anthony
great
and
to be
Charlie,
here. Thank
for
you
being
for
here with me
having
today.
Thank you, guys. Good to be here.
That was the WSJ's Gunjan Banerjee speaking with Anthony Scaramucci and Charlie Shrem. Alright, that's it for Tech News Briefing. Today's show was produced by Julie Chang. I'm your host, Zoe Thomas. Our supervising producer is Melanie Roy. Our development producer is Aisha Al-Muslim. Our deputy editors are Scott Salloway and Chris Sinsley. And Falana Patterson is the Wall Street Journal's head of news audio. We'll be back with a new show on Monday. Thanks for listening.